Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Hasty Books. My name is Camilla, and to start the channel, I've decided to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. So question one is, why did you start this channel? I've been kind of peering into the Booktube for a few months now, and I find it fascinating, and I think over the last year I've been rekindling my love of books and also wanting to talk more about it. So I've decided to try and see how it goes, and if I can connect with some interesting people, learn about new books. Yeah. Question number two is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? The unique things I can bring, obviously, it's just myself, I guess. What's great about talking about books to a variety of people is that you really get, everyone's different background, different perspective that potentially highlight different parts of certain books. My background is maybe a bit different from people. I grew up biculturally, so I'm actually French-Canadian from Quebec, and I'm hyphen Chilean, so South American, Latina. But I'm also an immigrant on top of that. So I live in rural Scotland in the UK. Another kind of added thing that I'm going to bring and try to have more content based on that is obviously my background studying literature, but I want to study a master's in kind of feminist literature, so women writing and gender at the University of St. Andrews. So I'll try to bring that in, which I'm not going to try. I think it's almost impossible for me not to bring in that kind of perspective when I read books and when I talk about them. But I'll make it fun, I swear. Question number three is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? I think it's just to create content that is about books that will, hopefully connect with people, and, both ways, that I will learn things and hopefully people will get some stuff from what I've read, of what I've thought of certain books. So yeah, that's kind of the connection, and chatting about books is what I'm very excited about. Question number four, we're getting into the midst of it, is, why do you love reading? I love to get different world perspective than mine, and I think that's one of the main things that I am looking for when I'm reading, and I think that's evolved because from when I was a child to teenager to in my 20s and now in 30s, but now I'm looking for like a variety of and diverse perspective so I can learn, and that's fiction and non-fiction. I don't discriminate. Yeah, so it's escapism, but also wanting to learn, wanting to see how the people live, different stories. So that's what I love most about reading. Question number five, what book or series got you into reading? I've loved reading since I was, God, as long as I could remember. And who got me into reading is actually my family. My parents curated quite a library, and they still do. And my godfather was a librarian, my brother's godmother was a librarian. I think that's always been books around. If I had to pick one book, I think it would be Little Women, just because I really saw myself as Jo when I was little, and which is why I became a writer. And I love reading and kind of that relationship with words. Next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think probably the commitment. Obviously, I have quite a busy life, even though we're in lockdown. So hopefully the commitment of having to film these videos, but also edit them. I think that's something quite creative that I'm looking forward to do. And probably I'm a bit worried about the FOMO of wanting to read more than I can probably handle. I don't know if I want to try to keep up with everyone, but I don't read like as much as certain booktubers who read like 100, 200 books a year. But I still want to, dip my toes into this interesting community. Next question is, when did you start reading? I started reading before I could probably read. I love books. I've always loved book, even probably when it was just images. So I started reading probably as soon as possible. I still have memories of, being between maybe 6 and 8 and being obsessed with the library at school, which really was just a wall in one of the classrooms. Next question is, where do you read? So I used to do my vast majority of my reading on the train because I commuted into Edinburgh every day. See, that hasn't happened in a while. So now I do the vast majority of my reading in bed. Next question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I read a variety. I'm not against anything. I will pick up any genre. I will pick up horror. I will pick up thrillers, romance novels. I love nonfiction. What I do prefer, my preferences, I love anything feminist, and I think you'll be seeing more of that kind of content on this channel. Just warning. I love contemporary novels. I do like fantasy and science fiction, even though I'm not attracted to them immediately. Some of my favorite books are in that genre. And yeah, like I said, I really do like a lot of nonfiction. So I try to have a couple every month, or at least in the background while I'm reading through fiction. The last question is, what does your book collection look like? Kind of see it at the background there. These are my lounge books. I have also my bedroom books, which I have a whole other shelf over there. These are only books I've accumulated in the last 5 years. I've only lived in the UK kind of permanently since 2014. I do also have quite a lot back home in Canada. My parents still have an extensive library, and a lot of them still include books from when I was at university and, you know, just growing up. So I have quite a big library, and I'll probably do a bookshelf tour at some point. It's sort of in the kind of color coordination, but I'm kind of getting over that. But that's a story for another time. Alright, so these are the questions from the Booktube Newbie Tag. Please let me know if you have more questions, or please introduce yourself below, especially if you're like a new content creator. That'll be really great to kind of get connected. I'll try to get more content coming up, and yeah, let me know if you have any requests or any interests, and hopefully we can connect.